I'm delighted today to be inviting some speakers from across the political spectrum, from different parties and from none. And the first one of those speakers is MP Tommy Sheppard for Edinburgh Eastern.
Good afternoon. It's a very great pleasure to be here. As Tristan just said, this is more people than I was expecting as well. And the best day of the year so far, and with so much else going on in Edinburgh this Saturday afternoon, it's great to see more people here than there are at any street party in Scotland celebrating. The Scottish Conservatives put out a press release on Tuesday condemning me for participating not in this event but in an event I'm doing later, which is an international Republican conference which is also taking place today, saying that it was extremely disrespectful to be engaging in such activities on the 70th anniversary of Her Majesty's reign and coming to the throne. And that is an example of how people who support the monarchy are trying to close down legitimate debate about it. And in fact, there is no better occasion than the 70th anniversary of her accession to the throne to ask the question, do we still want to be celebrating this in another 70 years?
No!
Or is it time to exert a fundamental democratic principle, which is that the people have got the right to elect their leaders, and in particular to elect their head of state, and to unelect them if they do not like them.
Yes!
That is a principle that people in this country and across the world have fought for, not just for decades, but for centuries, as human history has evolved and our civilization has developed. And this weird pre-medieval anachronism that we have in the government of the United Kingdom is surely time for review. So I hope that whilst obviously this is a day for the monarchists to celebrate, I hope that this will also mark a change. This will mark a sparking of a new debate about the future of the monarchy in the United Kingdom and in Scotland, and we will see much more dialogue and discussion and conversation take place, and it has to cease to be a taboo subject. Because the arguments I'm putting forward, sometimes I think, oh, maybe I'm just weird, maybe I'm in a minority of one, and maybe this is completely unreasonable. In fact, when people are asked in opinion polls, this is not only a significant point of view, but an increasingly popular point of view. 27% of people in the YouGov poll last month across the United Kingdom said they wanted to abolish the monarchy when asked a simple question, do you want to keep the monarchy or abolish it? 60% said keep. And that is down from support for the monarchy being at 3/4 of the population just 20 years ago when the Golden Jubilee was celebrated. Amongst young people, there is an actual majority across the United Kingdom saying they want to abolish the monarchy.
Yes! Yes!
And here in Scotland, as you might expect, opinion is divided. That poll showed that 45% say they want to keep the monarchy, and 40% say it is time to abolish the monarchy. So we are part of a momentum that is growing. We are part of an argument that is gaining ground and gaining currency, and I believe will win. And it is no difficulty in seeing why that is the case. Because, if this was just a day in which we celebrated one remarkable woman's 7 decades of public service and all the good and charitable works that she did, that might be okay. But it's not just about that. Let's not kid ourselves. This is about the promotion of an institution that sits at the top of a system of privilege and class power which is an anachronism of previous centuries. Something which underpins the inequality and all of the things that are wrong in this society. And the very idea of spending £30 million on parties and festivities and celebrations, while more children than ever go to bed hungry in this country, is to me an outrage. And I do think, as I said in the paper column today, I do think that those who support the monarchy ought to be a little bit more humble and a little bit more circumspect about their festivities. Because I think this largesse and the fact that they're using taxpayers' money to do it will backfire and will rebound on them, because people will not be content with this as the months unfold and this cost of living answer to the question, has any taxpayer money been used to fund Prince Andrew's settlement with Victoria Giuffre, the £12 million that he has reportedly given her in an out-of-court settlement? I cannot yet get an answer to that simple question, because the monarchy as an institution is exempt from the freedom of information legislation which exists in this country, and it is not open to examination or transparency. That is something that is wrong. And even in the short term, we should be pressing demands that the monarchy, whilst they still exist, should be open to scrutiny and should pay their taxes like everyone else. And there has to now be a review of the long-term future and its position as head of state. Now, that also is an argument that is gaining currency across the world, and in particular across the Commonwealth. You know that the new Australian government has now appointed a Minister for the Republic and has declared that not in this term but in the next 3-year term of that government there will be a referendum in Australia about abolishing the monarchy and removing the Queen or the King as head of state. Canada also, and of course most recently in Barbados, which declared itself a republic. So across the old empire, these ideas are breaking down and being replaced with new modern ideas of democratic aspiration. And that will happen here too in Scotland, because this is part of our debate about the future of our country too. And I can see the flags today. I know that many people in the Yes movement support abolition of the monarchy. You won't be surprised to know that the very same opinion polls say that those people who support an independent Scotland overwhelmingly want to see the monarchy abolished. But I say this to you, I say that the Yes movement is about achieving a change in this country where the people take control and have the right to choose their own destiny. And it is for the people of Scotland to decide their head of state when we have a new constitution. And if they want, if there's a majority of Scots after independence who want to keep King Charles III as their head of state, then they can vote for that, and if that is a majority, that is what will happen. Yep. But I firmly believe that independence will give us the opportunity to ask that question and have a majority of people respond saying they no longer want to bend the knee to someone who holds a position simply by accident of birth. And they want to be able to appoint and to remove their own leaders as they do in most other countries in the world. Yep. So the future is ours, my friends. This is the start of something quite big. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be one hell of a ride.
Thank you, Tommy. Quite unlike the monarchy, all of our funding comes from our members. We are a membership-led organisation. We're democratic. I get voted for by our membership to be the convener. Anyone can take up that mantle if they have a majority of our members. That is how you can get involved. If you join us, our public, get involved, vote in the system, give us the kind of funding that we can improve from this setup for rallies to come. Get out the word for the Republic. We have more speakers lined up, so first up, Cameron Glasgow on behalf of the Scottish Greens.
Woo! Thank you, everyone. I was brought up in school and taught that we live in a democracy, and I can't think of anything further than the truth. At school, I was told that we lived in a democracy, and I can't think of anything further from the truth. When we have one family that have so much power over our legal system, that they're able to exempt themselves from any law that they feel like. Our monarchy have exempt themselves from laws that would allow their tenants living on their land to buy their own houses. Their estates are exempt from climate change legislation. When we're facing a climate emergency that is going to affect my lifetime, the generations after me, and our royal family couldn't care less because it's costing them money. The police are banned from searching royal estates for stolen goods. We all know it's there.
land itself.
Greens believe in a modern 21st century Scotland, and that means an independent republic in the European Union.
Yes!
That republic will be voted by an independence referendum next year, delivered by the Scottish Parliament.
Yes!
But this week, the Scottish Parliament had a debate using parliamentary money, our taxpayers' money, on this monarchy, where MSPs from every party, except the Greens, stood up and begged to be recognised by an institution that doesn't recognise our own existence.
Yep, well done,
Scottish people are citizens, not subjects, and Greens recognise that. Instead of spending our time wasting away in that debate, we were working for our constituents, fighting the climate crisis and tackling the cost of living crisis.
Yes!
The fact that the royal family and the institution that it supports remains today shows us that the government and the people at the top of power in the United Kingdom don't actually understand what the people of Scotland want.
Yes!
They want an independent Scottish republic.
Yes!
Whilst the royal family remains, the people of Scotland are never truly free. Thank you very much.